Hello students, today we will do another type of inheritance, that is multiple inheritance, in which there will be two base classes and one derived class. Two base classes will be parent 1 and parent 2, and thereafter there will be a derived class known as child. We will refer to it as child. This is multiple inheritance since there are more than one base classes. Base class 1, parent 1 is having a data member P1 and it is having a data member P2, and child class will add the values of P1 and P2. Apart from that, we will take input and output of this P1 in parent class, input and output of P2 through member functions in parent 2 class, and child class will display the result by using the display method. Okay. In parent 2, the member function names are get P2 and put P2, and in parent 1 class the member function names we have put them as input and output. Therefore, we have created three classes, two base classes, parent 1 and parent 2, and one class is derived from them, that is child class. P1 and P2 are their data members of base classes. Input and output are the member functions of parent 1 class. Get P2, put P2 are the member functions of class parent 2, where child class will add the values of P1 and P2 and display the result by using the display method. So this is the outline of this program. So how it will be performed, let's see. First of all, we have created a class parent 1. In the protected section, we have created P1 as a data member. Then input function will take input of P1 and output section will display the value of P1. It is very simple. Now another class is created, parent 2, where P2 is declared its data member. Get P2 will take input of P2, enter P2, see in P2, and put P2 will display the values of P2. Now the main line or statement that you need to see is here. How will it do? We will create another class which is derived class child, and in multiple inheritance we will write like this: visibility mode, which is public, and then parent class base class 1, which is parent 1, then again visibility mode, then base class name, which is parent 2. If there are more than two base classes, we will put comma and write here visibility mode, and we will add the third class parent 3, and so on. But here we are having only two classes, so we will write parent 1 and parent 2, and they are derived using the public mode. We can separate them by using this comma. Okay. So child class is inheriting features of both P1 and P2. Since they are in protected section, so they will become protected members of this child class. That means in the protected section of this child class, P1 and P2 will be there, and all the member functions will come under public section because they are declared in the public section of parent classes. Input output, get P2, put P2. Apart from that, there is another function display, which is this class own member function display. So this child class will contain this entire data. I hope you understand thoroughly. Now this is very important, you must note this. Child class will be having these members now. Protected section, P1 and P2. Protected section contains P1 and P2 as data members, and in public section, input output functions from parent 2, parent 1, get to P2 from parent 2 and display is its own member function. Now you can see from here in the public section this get P2 and put P2 are defined, and input output are also defined in the public section. Fine. So they will become public members of the derived class. This concept should be clear to you. Now in the main function I need to create object of only child class because it contains the entire data. So I'll create the object R. Now I need to call all the functions through this R object. R dot input. By using this, the control will jump to the input function over here. You can see here the control will go to the input function and it will take input of P1, enter value of P1, C in P1. After that, control will go back and R dot get P2 will be called. This function will be called and the control will go to the get P2 function over here, where it will take the value of P2, enter P2, C in P2. User will input the value of P2. Thereafter, next function will be called R dot output, which will display the value of P1. You can see from here this one, P1 is equal to this. It will display the value of P1, and now R dot put P2, then this function will be called and the value of P2 will be displayed by using this function. Fine. And now I need to call this display function which will add the value of P1 and P2. Let's suppose I have input P2 as 20 and P1 as 10, then their sum will be performed, that is 30, and this value will be displayed. So let's see how will it occur. After that, R dot display method is called and control will go over here. Sum is equal to P1 plus P2, 10 plus 20, that is 30. Then 30 value will be displayed. So this is how we can perform input output of the base classes using the object of derived class. Okay, and this concept is multiple inheritance because there is only one derived class and two base classes separated with comma. And now see the output of this program. Let me show you. Enter value of P1. Suppose I have given value 30, enter P2 40. Then the sum is displayed as 70, where P1 is the result of output function. This is a result of put P2 function, and this is done by using the display function. So all three classes are having different names for all the display methods. In parent 1 we have used output, in parent 2 we have used put P2, and in result class we have child class we have used the function name as display. And now let's go back to the code window. So this is about multiple inheritance.